that's gon' come with some things. He fell in love with a bad bitch, that's gon' come with a ring. Switch from the G to the range, then we make love in a V. Rain through you and your best friend, and one of these loving is me. Lick on your test, send me your low, I wanna know where you be at. You know I don't trust all them niggas you with, they open the door from the back. I gotta watch your body, I gotta pray for your soul. That my dog for life, until the end of the road. If you ain't loyal, you gotta go, please hit the door. Show me you love me, if you ain't with it, just let me know, no. Too busy plotting, clock that T, they too busy watching. He know not to play with Big Mama for real, got too many options, baby. Too many options, got too many options, baby. Too many options, they too busy plotting, baby. Too busy plotting. Too many options, baby, too many options. Shorty the Lulu, too busy running his mind, all in his Lulu. Ringing alarms like Jay-Z, white man, I'ma go cuckoo. He fell in love with my heart and soul before he even touched my body. Every little thing that good ain't good, that's why I don't trust nobody. Face called pressure, about me gon' do a little extra. About that cheddar on my body, won't let her. He fell in love with my heart and soul before he even touched my body. Every little thing that good ain't good, that's why I don't trust nobody. I fell in love with a gangster, that's gon' come with some things. He fell in love with a bad bitch, that's gon' come with a ring. Switch from the G to the range, then we make love in a V. Rain through you and your best friend, and one of they loving is me. Lick on your test, send me your low, I wanna know where you be at. You know I don't trust all them niggas you with, they open the door from the back. I gotta watch your body, I gotta pray for your soul. That my dog for life, until the end of the road. If you ain't loyal, you gotta go, please hit the door. Show me you love me, if you ain't with it, just let me know, no. Too busy plotting, clock that T, they too busy watching. He know not to play with Big Mama for real, got too many options, baby.
The only time you might be able to get away with calling me a bitch is if he softly whispers, bitch, I got it. Bitch, good. I would almost want to knuckle up, but I might just melt right there where I stood. Talk about assignment understood, and I got this ass nigga. Ready to pull the trigger on any bill that comes his way, not the Cosby kind. No quaaludes needed here today. Run me them checks, and I'll take care of the rest. Are you hungry? What you need? Picture it. 50s housewife pumps on in the apron while I got mouth to feed. Your job will be not to play about me. And possibly we can have some fun. Number one rule is don't have me out here looking dumb. Don't be out here slinging dick and checks or any her that key while you trying to flex. Bring her here as long as the four of us are clear. The fourth one are them checks.
Whoa!
He who covers rent before it's due, who got flight alerts and dinner reviews, reservations made, bags packed tight. No peace comes home to him every night, or whatever the Bible say. I don't need a ball over the section. I need a sign that he understands that provision is divine, security sexy. Planning is foreplay, peace of mind is how you make me want to stay. I'll be right here, hair done, table set, oil on your shoulders, easing your stress. I'll stretch $1 and season a bill. I'll turn this little house into a kingdom for real. You hear this?
Again, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard Too Many Options from TMarie, and then Be at Peace, a poem from Lady Sarkazym. You're now listening to 8th and Bside, track 21. My name's Abdul Rahman. I'm here with Jersey's own. I've been seeing him since 2018. My friend actually texted me his song Date.
Hey!
I became a fan of this song Secrets and a lot of his joints on SoundCloud, and seeing him grow throughout this time, to seeing that he's actually wrote yam jams and singles for one of the GOATs that we know. Like, he's a very, very talented dude. Thank you for coming through, Tone Stith, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me, bro.
Nah, no problem, man. I want to keep your time. I do want to ask you, because I think I saw this one. I want to ask, is it true that your mom figured out that you could actually sing because she overheard you singing the Tyler Perry DVD, The Plays?
It's 1,000% true, bro. That is all the way true. I was so it was when Tyler Perry did Medea's Family Reunion as a play.
Yes.
And yeah, and she had it on VHS, and I would watch that religiously, and I didn't realize that I was like, paying attention to the singing parts, but just as a kid, that's what I gravitated to. And one day she just caught me singing in the living room while it was on. She was like, hold on. She's like, you gotta do it again. You do it again. And I was real shy growing up too. I didn't like to be put on the spot. But this time, like, she asked me to do it, and I just did it with no hesitation. She got out the little camcorder and recorded it, so I got the recording too. It's pretty funny.
And I heard that you end up going to the church to get talents. Like, I saw that you picked up the skills of being a drummer, a bassist,
Yeah.
at the church. What was the church? And that church, I believe, was in Philly, right?
Yeah, yep. Church of the Lord Jesus Christ of Apostolic Faith off 22nd and Bainbridge. I was going there since I was born. But my mom was always on the choir. My dad played drums in church as well. And, you know, pretty much, I mean, my weekends were spent, obviously, during the week I would go to school, but then like Saturday, Sunday, I was at church like every weekend. Like, there was no nothing else, you know what I mean? So I would just be in the rehearsals and just learning and just really watching and just being a sponge. And then I gravitated towards the drums. A few of my close friends still to this day, like, that's what we all gravitated towards. So anytime we would get a chance, like maybe after rehearsal, after church on Sunday, you would bring your little sticks. And then you would stand behind the drummer. Like, when the drummer gets tired, you might get your chance. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how I grew up and really fell into the music.
That's real. Now, you from South Jersey, Marlton, right?
Yup, exactly. Yes, sir.
And you went to church in Philly. I'm curious, have you ever went to any jam sessions or maybe open mics that were in Philly during, like, around that time? Like,
you know, it's crazy. The only ones that I've gone to, I would say, was held by the church. Like, and it would just be like, we have a pretty big organization, so it'll be musicians that will come in from other from other churches from our same organization. But you know, on those Saturdays that we would have or stuff like that, it would turn into like a huge just like jam session afterwards.
That's real. Now, again, I said earlier, my friend put me on to you. She texted me your song Date, and then I got into your the EP that had Secrets. That was my jawn.
Yeah.
I went into SoundCloud and I loved your covers, like your cover of Rock With You. I see that you're a fan. And I think I saw another cover you did where you did Human Nature. So I'm just curious, were you more of an off-the-wall guy or a thriller guy? Or maybe you love...
You know, listen, I'll be honest with you. Personally, I'm more of an off-the-wall guy, right? Yes. That's, you know, and I love, you know, I feel like that was Mike's rawest album, being that, like, it was still very... Not that Thriller or Bad wasn't, but it was very black. You know what I mean? Like, it was very soulful, it was very R&B, very funk driven, and I grew up in that, you know, in that environment. So for me, Off the Wall really stands out. But then I understand Thriller in the way that, you know, I know the genius behind it, and I could like really see why, okay, he went very pop. He still kept it, his roots were still in it, but he went more pop on that album, and I understand why. And then I'll say, like, later in my days now, I'm really becoming a bigger fan, I think, of Bad album. Yeah. It's just growing on me. I mean, like, you know, obviously these albums been around longer than I've been alive, but it's just funny how every era and you know, of my musical transition, it's like, yo, you know, something else just kind of sticks out to you. I grew up loving Off the Wall, but now I'm like, yo, Bad is really like that one. Like, people asleep.
And I saw that your mom kind of put you on the mic, was more on the mic, but your pops was a Prince fan.
He was Prince.
And I see that you are like, you're very nasty on the guitar as well yourself. So I'm curious, as a Prince fan, is there a favorite song of yours where his guitar solo just sticks out to you the most?
You know, you know what? There's a few songs I can't really say. You know what's crazy? I love Prince for his ability to play the guitar. Like, we all know that he could shed. He's really crazy. Mm-hmm. But I think I love Prince more because I can relate to him as an all-around musician. Mm-hmm. And one of my favorite albums is Sign of the Times. Mm-hmm. And of course, there's a lot of memorable solos that Prince has, but I think there's this one song that I love called The Ballad of Dorothy Parker. And it's just, I know he's playing everything, but the way oh man, let's switch back to the car. 1 sec.
No, you good.
Okay. The way that everything is just structured and the musicality of it, and to be honest, I think Prince vocally is one of the greatest singers like ever. I think his ability and what he could do with his vocals is like, I feel like he doesn't get the acknowledgement that he deserves.
I was about to say, do you feel like vocally he may be underappreciated?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's obvious that he's one of the greatest guitar players. It's obvious, that he could play all instruments. But vocally, I'm like, yo, a lot of people cannot touch Prince at all. So yeah. But if I had to pick a solo, I'll say one of my favorites is in the Sign of the Times tour. He does a solo on Could Never Take the Place of Your Man, and that was like the first thing that I, as an 8-year-old seeing this tour movie, that was the first thing I gravitated towards.
That's real, man. I want to take a break a little bit to play music from Joyce Wrice. She got a song called Break.
Oh, I love Joyce. Yeah, that's my girl. Yeah.
Yeah, man. We try to play them right here on 8th and Bside, track 21.
Where were you last night?
My dad at a party with my friend and my Gwaan bud.
This is real right?
Star girl a Gwaan bud. Who fi test me a girl must mad. Brawling when me sit up on the John. Rocky body and tan panny long. Waistline bullies when me can't do no wrong. Match oh, easy fi tell who I watch oh. Easy fi tell who I chat oh. Some waist girl don't have a clue, girl move. Bumbo clat on my bad so. Pretty and neat, pony fat so. Tight and clean through me head so. Camera light just a flash so. Gwaan bad, 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 bad. Cock out my body, Gwaan bad, 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 bad. Shake up my fatty, Gwaan bad, 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 bad. Thick brown skin, dolly, Gwaan bad, 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 bad. Yeah, star girl a Gwaan bad. No manners, rude. Face to your fuck and me full of attitude. Have you ever blessed me full of gratitude? Step in I place, set the mood. Oh, watch technique. Must say ballerina, must say freak. Must say take a girl man through it leak. Must say run a boy head kai sweet. G's and peace. Bumbo clat on my bad so. Pretty and neat, pony fat so. Tight and clean through me at so. Camera light just a flash so. Gwaan bad, 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 bad. Cock out my body, gwaan bad, 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 bad. She cut me fatty, gwaan bad, 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 bad. Thick brown skin, dolly, gwaan bad, 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 bad. Yeah. Star girl, gwaan bad.
You just heard Gwaan Bad from Amanda Fallon, another Philly artist coming through, I believe a dance hall artist as well. Then earlier you heard Break Me In by Joyce Wrice. You're now listening to 8th and Bside. My name is Abdul Rock Monster. You know me as Rock, and we're here with Jersey's very own Tone Stith. There's a fire album that just came out that I want to talk about, but I do want to talk about this group that I believe he was in, Get It Stage, called SJ3.
Yes, sir.
Out to SJ3, man.
Those are my brothers, man. Still to this day, I mean, we all is still close.
How did that?
I mean, really, I gotta give credit to Desmond, man. So Desmond Dennis, I mean, now is very much known as a huge TikTok and YouTuber now. But Desmond, growing up, we grew up in church together too, and I believe I met Desmond when I was 6. He might have been 7. And so pretty much our whole lives, and we bonded over drumming first in church. And then you know, the days that, you know, certain Mondays where you didn't have school, I'll be like, hey mom, like, you know, I want to go to Desmond's house, like, you know, whatever. So I would start going over there. He had a drum set over there, so we would be shedding and everything like that. And then a few more times I started going over his house and started realizing he had his, like, I don't even know how he did it. He had like his tape machine rigged up to a microphone where he was recording. He was just recording, and he loved the Temptations. So he'd be like, yo, get on this mic. I'm gonna get on this mic. We're gonna sing the Temptations or whatever. And I was like, all right, cool. And that really just developed into us just like figuring out like, oh, you really love music just as much as I do. You know what I mean? And that really started our brotherhood. And it was really his idea to start the group. And then the other member, Kai, we kind of met, I think we met Kai in 2009.
Okay.
And he was in a whole different group rapping and stuff like that. And Desmond hit him up and was like, look, bro, like, hey, we need another member. You rap, you got the look, what do you think? You know, and he was down, and that really started off SJ3, which eventually rolled us into getting signed by Jazz Prince.
Yeah.
And and we moved to LA, and that kind of just started everything, you know.
I wanted to ask you, how did that happen that he became interested in your music? Right? Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty crazy. So we did a cover to Justin Bieber's Heartbreaker. And Jazz, and shout out to the Problem Solvers too. Those are my brothers too. R.I.P. Melvin, man, that's another one. But they were at Justin Bieber's house, and ironically, not even ironically, this is God. God had it that the video of us doing Heartbreaker popped up on Justin's page. He saw it. Jazz was there. He was like, yo, bro, you need to check out this group. They're really dope. They're killing this song, whatever. One thing led to the next thing, and then Jazz was on Twitter hitting us up and like, yo, man, I'm trying to get in touch with you. At first, we thought it was spam because we didn't know who he was. So we was like, man, who is this? Like, but he had a blue check. You know, back then you couldn't buy a blue check. Yeah. So he had a blue check. So he was like, who is this, man? I don't know if it's like we getting scammed. What's going on? And it turned out to be legit, and that really started the journey of us getting to LA, and that led to me meeting Chris Brown and so on and so on. I wanted to ask that before that, like, what happened with SJ3 where you guys decided to part ways?
You know, there's a lot of things I think in life. I mean, we were doing the group for a long time. Technically, we could say we were doing the group from like 2009 all the way up to 2015. And you know, it just got to a point where it's like, you know, me personally, I was at a point where I wanted to just start exploring my solo stuff and just really writing and producing and just like diving into the music that I wanted to do more so than being a performer. I didn't really care for the performance aspect of being an artist anymore.
I'm interested in, not to cut you off, because like I saw that you mentioned you got into linking up with Chris Brown, and that was my surprise that you have wrote Liquor. That's one of my favorite joints from him. And
word.
Yeah. So like, first, how did that come about where you were able to write for him?
Yeah. So I mean, so how it all really started was the group. We were at Jazz's house, and I guess Jazz got a call, and Chris Brown was working out of Chalice, I think, Chalice Studios in LA. And he was like, yo, we're gonna pull up on Chris. I was like, all right, cool, like, this is dope. Like, finally get to meet Chris. Like, this has been one of my biggest inspos too. So I was like, oh, this is dope. So we pull up to the session, and Chris is in the booth recording, and we kind of just all sitting in the back. And Chris is just on the mic. He's just like, yo, if anybody got any input, just say something, whatever. So he's recording or whatever. I'm over this. I'll say one thing. I'll say another thing. I'll say a third thing, right? So he's just working. Finally comes out the booth. He meets us. And he's like, yeah, so, what I'm working on, like, you got anything to play or whatever? And I was like, yeah, like, so I think we played some group records. And then I got to play him Liquor, a few other songs that I was working on and at the time. And that's really how it happened. And then later on, he was just like, yo, like, Jazz, like, I need a folder of them songs that Tone was playing, like, and that's how it went. And then fast forward, he was recording at record plant, and he was like, yo, I'm doing Liquor. I want you to come to the studio and like work on the song and like be there while I'm recording it. So we did that, ended up knocking out Liquor, made a whole different song that never was released. It was like just a bunch of music, man.
I think that's dope that someone on his status is like, hey, I don't know you like that, you just coming up, hey, you got any input on what I'm doing, let me know. Like, I think
I will always speak highly of Chris and just, his humbleness, man. Like, he's just, he's not this big ego-filled guy. Like, when you get into the creative space and it's time to work, he's like, yo, like, I respect who's in this creative space. So, like, let me listen to everybody that has input. You know what I'm saying? And he really listens, and he's just like, yo, he's trying to always grow. So I respect that, being that he's at the level that he's at. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you already made it, but he's also pushing for more and that greatness. And that's just, you can't teach that,
Did he, is it true that he actually encouraged you to step out from the back scene to be an artist yourself?
Yeah. He was definitely the one that was just like, bro, why are you like, you need to be, doing music. You need to be an artist too. He said to me early on, he was like, you are in my top 5. And I was like, wait, I was like, hold on, bro, Chris. Hold on, bro. But he was like, yo, you were one of the top 5 for me. He was like, man, you're just untouchable. You could play, you could dance, you could sing. Like, what are you doing, man? You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta give it to him. And I always valued that, because that really just gave me the confidence and the encouragement. Because for me, like I said, I'm more of a private person. I don't really like limelight. I don't like being out in front of people, but I adapt to it. But I just loved, really making music, really writing, producing, really like just working on my craft in that way, and just making songs, that's what I fell in love with to begin with. So for him to just be like, oh, you gotta just be in the forefront, and you got the voice, so you actually need to be the face of the song that you're creating. I was like, all right, you know what? If Chris telling me that, then all right, I'm gonna listen.
No, that's real, man. I'm glad, because now that gave us like 5 different projects before the mixtapes, EPs. You've had joints on there of like Date, Secret. My homie Vance is a big fan of your jawn. Fuck With Me. Like, that's
come on, man, that's crazy.
And you got to work with artists like Ty Dolla $ign, Sway Lee, her,
Quavo, yup.
So how do you feel like from these projects prepared you all the way from the edge like now? Because they were also independent. Sorry, no, because some of them were independent.
No, good.
Were also on RCA, right?
Well, the Edge is now under Monarch, which is an independent label. Okay. And everything else was under RCA and YMG with Jazz and everybody else. But I feel like, you know, the journey is the journey. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't regret anything in my journey. I think everything is a learning experience, the good, the bad, everything that happens. You need all that to be able to figure out who you are, to be able to grow, and to develop your individuality. You know what I mean? And I think for me, the edge really came from a place of just like really started in 2023. It was a lot of changes going on. Like, you know, I split ways from RCA. The year later, my manager, who I was working like this with every day, my brother Jason, he had passed unexpectedly.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thank you. And so that was like the first. I've suffered big losses, but that was like one of those things where it was like, whoa, it's a wake up call. It's just like, yo, there's a person I really talk to every day and trust with my life. It's just like, you're gone. And fast forward a few months after that, my grandpa had passed. And I was still just like, all right, like, you know, Lord, like, you know, just guide me through it. Like, of course, grieving is the hardest thing in the world, but I knew, I was like, you know, I have a purpose, you know what I'm saying? And I'm here to serve. And these people that I'm losing in my life were the biggest serving people to me, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, no, I got to take from that what I could take from that. And that's like, hey, I'm not here to be put on this earth. You know, if I have some long years, then that's great. But I'm here for a job and a purpose, and it's to serve. You know, it's like my job as an artist is not for my desire and my personal enjoyment. It's for making songs for people to relate to and have a space and encourage. And you know what I'm saying? It's bigger than me. And so while making this album, you know, one of the biggest losses that I had, the last one, was my boy Melvin, who was a part of, you know, Problem Solvers. And I met Melvin in 2014 at Jazz's house. So he known me since I was like 18 years old. And I did like, you know, my first project, Can We Talk? Melvin and Ryan, the Problem Solvers, like it was us. It was just us, you know, Perfect Timing and all that stuff, like on the next project on Good Company and Take It There, it still was just all of us, you know what I mean? So he played a super significant role in my life, and just to lose him as well was just like, oh my God, like I felt like all these things was literally driving me to the edge, man, like financial stuff, all types of stuff, you know, life was just like piling up. But, you know, through that, this album was created. And like I said, through all the experiences that I had in this industry, you know, I was like, yo, I don't know when I'm not going to be here anymore. So I need to make a body of work that represents my legacy, that after I leave, people will be like, yo, he really has something to say on his album.
No, that's real, man. I want to talk more about that album. First, you want to play some more music. This time, more music from Philly's own Robots Aren't Real, featuring Poundside Pup, called Like the Sun, right here on 8th and Bside.
Fancy cars, we can take the jet to Mars. or pretending. Feel like I hold my breath. I'm not trying to reach you, can't help it. I feel like I need to. I feel like I need to. I need you.
Back now, you just heard Raindance from Nomi. I got onto her, I believe, just scrolling from Instagram. The algorithms really do be putting me onto some music.
Yeah, I promise. Me too.
They really do. And then you also heard Billy's own Robots Aren't Real featuring Poundside Pup called Like the Sun. Again, it's 8th and Bside. My name is Adore Rock Maya here with Tone Stith. I was talking earlier about the beginning of working on this debut album of his, The Edge. So I want to talk to you. I love the album. I love albums that are like 10 songs that get it out. And I feel like, to me, it sounds like a jam session of love songs, some six dope love songs, and some songs where you're just kind of venting about the direction you're trying to get to. So I want to know, what was, maybe if you said it earlier, but what was the journey like creating this album with you, KP, and Brody? You know, for your.
Oh man, I mean, honestly, it was amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, through all the hardships, there was a brotherhood that was made while creating this album, and we did it at KP's crib in the hills, which was amazing. Like, so you would be looking at all of Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? And we'd just be in the studio and just like, it's really working. But I mean, it was just the most organic thing. Even the way I met Brody, like, I've known KP since 2021, and we've been working for a long time. He produced Perfect 10, Something in the Water, a lot off of my POV album. So we've been working for some years. And, you know, he always told me, like, yo, you know, one day, like, I'm gonna bring you around Brody. And I remember well, not the first time, but the second time I got to go in the studio, it was after a Kirk Franklin show. And we went and saw Kirk Franklin. And shout out KP, because he produced all things too for Kirk Franklin. Oh, wow. And so we went to the show. And then Brody calls him while we at the show. And he's like, yo, y'all pull up to the studio. Yo, pull up to the studio after you're done. Cool, man. Like, yeah, get to work with Brody, or just pull up. And so we in there, we just vibing, we talking, chopping it up. And somebody just said something like, you know, straight from the pageant stage, right? And I literally started just singing, straight from the pageant stage. Brody got on the keys, KP got on the drums. And that's how that song actually started. And I would say, like, that was the first time that we all just kind of like, all right, this is the first time we working together. Say again?
That's the song that started off the creation of The Edge?
I would say the first song that started off was Shut Up, and I started that in 2023. But that was actually around the same time, to be honest. It might have been like a week or two apart. But I started Shut Up. I was working on that first. Okay. And then, but that was the first song that really started off the Edge. But Pageant Stage was the next one that happened, and it was, like I said, it was either a week or two in the same time frame. And how it happened was just like, hold on, man, there's some synergy in the room. Like, hold on now, like, it's special. And so yeah, man, like, after that, I mean, you know, I was living in Miami, but I would fly back. And I would, you know, just lock in with KP, and Brody would just pull up. He would just drive to the crib and pull up. And it was one of those things where it was like, yo, we was sleeping at the studio, you know what I'm saying? And just waking up next day, just working and just like locking in. And that's just how this album was made, man. You know, obviously having drinks, smoking, but it was just us, you know what I mean? And of course we invited some of the other writers and some other producers that were on the album, but it was literally just the nucleus. So it was just us.
I like that, man. Like, I think sometimes less is more. There's not a lot of talk, like, able to talk to one another, not have everybody else, and you kind of the people that are in there, there's like a security amongst yourselves where, like, you feel comfortable, trusting one another. Like, my favorite B-side off the Edge is Back Around.
Oh man, yup.
Back Around, and If You Let Me. So I'm curious to know, like, from like since the album has dropped, what B-sides or deep cuts have people who have listened to you to say that, you know, they love a lot?
You know, it's crazy. It's like, you know, so the album intentionally was made so that every song can stand on its own 2 feet. And To me, I'm just like I'm not overwhelmed, but I'm overjoyed by the feedback that's coming in because everybody has something different. Like there's a whole group of people for Back Around. There's a whole group of people for Better Days. I mean, obviously Fly is what Fly is. Yeah. But there's a group of people for Come to Me. There's a group of people that love I Quit. It's just like everybody has their specific like, nah, this is my favorite. Yeah, I'm just happy about that because like it's not a skip through album. And I feel like there's something for everybody, and the fact that there's so many different pockets and so many people being like, nah, this is my favorite. Now this is my favorite. Like, I'm just like, damn, we did it. We did a good job.
Right, because even when you mentioned Fly, that became Stevie Wonder's favorite song. But
yeah, you know what I'm saying? And if it, that he's just like, that's the top of the top. So Stevie said it.
You got Stevie loving it, and then like that's like your first #1 Billboard.
Yeah, first #1 on Billboard, man, for 4 consecutive weeks.
So let me ask you, like, what led to that decision of flying after, decision to, like, I guess, flying after Coming to the Edge, like, coming to the edge and like, you know what, I'm going to take this chance to just fly wherever it takes me, like.
That was just that was the narrative of the album, it was to relate to the people that go through life the same way that I'm going through life. The last 3 years for me just became really real, you know what I mean? Versus like, business, leaving my label that I was at for 7-8 years, other things I was tied into for 10 plus years, and, losing very close people in the workspaces, but that were also fans. So it was just something that was like, yo, life is really like lifing right now. And I want to do what I want to do. Like if I can't make the music or be the artist that I want to be, to feel like I'm at my best and that I'm fully delivering a message to inspire, to encourage, to uplift, then I'm not doing my job. And so for me, I felt like, with Fly, if I had to talk about my life and my career in one song, it would be Fly. Okay. I think Fly definitely is the feeling that I've always had, like, yo, there's more to me than people know. There was a space and time where a lot of people would try to box me into what they wanted me to be as an artist.
You mentioned, I'm meant to ask that because even with Shut Up, I wanted to ask, like, what are the expectations that I guess the certain labels or the people?
Yeah, I mean, it's people that have their vision, their own vision for who they feel like you are, but don't quite understand your vision for who you are yourself. And it's just like, they just want to make you how they see you, but it's like, no, I'm not operating in that way. Like I'm different, there's more to me than just that. And it was, that was their expectation, and just, comparing me to people that I feel like, yo, stop comparing me to this person or that person. I'm not this person or that person. I'm me. You know what I'm saying? I'm my own individual.
Yeah, and I think that's the similarities with music artists and even athletes, is like the best thing for them is to be on a team or a label that actually believes in them and using them for who they are, instead of like, hey, I want to try to make you that person. It's like, well, you could have signed that person, or you that person, instead of coming to me and trying to make me that person. So I totally agree. Like, there's a lot of people, like, again, like, where it's like, yo, they got brought to a team, or you get to a team and then all of a sudden that team goes and now you got somebody else in here. And they're like, well, I didn't really bring you in here, but I'm trying to make you what I like over here. And it's like, no, like me for me, and then we'll just go this way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and there's a crowd for that. You know what I mean? Like there's going to be a fan base that appreciates that more so than the performative stuff, because it's you being you. You're being authentic. You're being real. That's what people want, especially in today's time.
No, that's real, man. Especially after seeing you perform at Roots Picnic. Like, I got to give you credit, man. Like, I felt like it was difficult because, like, while you were performing, there was De La Soul performing, and I feel like sometimes the sound was kind of like you're kind of fighting one another. But
facts.
Yeah, I felt like you held it down for like this the joints that you played out, and like people like really into your performance and not, you know what I mean, getting upset about like not. But I like that. I think you are right too. Like there's an area for that.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel like performing at the Roots Picnic? This is like your second time, right?
Yeah, no, you know what? I loved it. I mean, just the fact that I just continue to find myself in these same places and get invited back. You know what I'm saying? Like that's important to me, and I definitely love that, and that means something to me. it's the roots, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's legendary, bro. And it's Philly, like, you know, so it's just like, just to be called upon and being able to deliver, you know, I'm grateful for that. You know, that goes even past that. It's just in any type of shape or form, like whatever I'm getting called to do, when people think of me and put me in those conversations, it's love, you know what I mean? Because it's just like, hey, thank you for the acknowledgement, and I'm not gonna let y'all down, you know what I'm saying? Because I know, you know, I know my background and I know how I'm built, so yeah.
We appreciate you, man. I want to hold you down. Like, one more question is to ask.
Yo, you good, bro?
With the reception of The Edge, I'm pretty sure you're getting a lot of love from it. Like, do you see better days for Tone Stith for like 2026 and even guess for the future from the reception of The Edge?
You know what? Absolutely. You know, and like we kind of touched on, you know, life is life. You know, so it's always going to do this. It's always going to be a roller coaster. It's going to be good days, bad days. I'm just grateful that this album is out, and I know that it's going to do what it's supposed to do in our community, in the world, and touch the people that it's supposed to touch. And, you know, a lot of people will be like, well, you know, I can't wait to be on the big stadium tour and this, that, and the third. I'm just like, hey, look, whatever God has planned for me, whatever comes with this, because it came from a real place and it was super intentional making this album, that's what it will be. You know what I mean? I don't want to over expect. I'm just grateful and happy that I'm at this point, and I'm ready to just keep going and see what else is in store.
Nah, man, I can't wait to see what's in store too. What I will say, as a selfish, what I hope is in store is that Tone Stith tour, that at least there'll be one in Philly, man. Like,
absolutely. Now that we for sure are working on that.
Definitely, man. Yo, again, I appreciate you for your time, man. Again, I love your set, performing at the Roots Picnic. I love the album The Edge. I've been a fan since 2018, so I appreciate your time, and I definitely want to hear more from you, man. So I appreciate you for to speak to me, man. I really, really do.
Thank you, man. That's love, bro. I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Definitely, man. You take care. Again, y'all listen to 8th and Bside track 21 with Tone Stith. Peace, stay blessed. See y'all next time.
Peace.